Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off this presentation with you today. Our first slide features a powerful lesson from Law 47. In victory, learn when to stop. It's all about knowing the right moment to pause and avoid pushing too far after achieving your goal. Today, we'll explore how recognizing when to stop can protect your success and help you maintain your advantages. So, let's dive in and discover how mastering this principle can make all the difference in your strategic thinking and decision-making. The moment of victory is often the most dangerous point in any endeavor. When things are going well and success is within reach, it's easy to let pride and overconfidence creep in. That's when mistakes happen, and sometimes those mistakes can undo all the hard work you've put in. In fact, going too far in celebration or pushing beyond your limits can create more enemies than friends. So, it's crucial not to let success go to your head. Remember, there's no substitute for strategic thinking and careful planning. Always set a clear goal, and once you've achieved it, it's important to know when to stop. This balance, celebrating wins but staying disciplined, is key to maintaining long-term success. It ties directly into our overall theme. Mastery isn't just about winning, but about knowing how and when to hold back and plan your next move. Let's talk about the peril of victory. This emotion can be really dangerous because it tends to replace careful strategy with impulsive actions. When you start feeling like you can conquer anything, it's easy to overreach, which can lead to creating unnecessary enemies. The truly wise strategist understands that restraint is actually the ultimate sign of strength. Success can be intoxicating, giving us a sense of momentum that pushes us forward. When we win, we often feel invincible, but that feeling can cloud our judgment. That's where the momentum trap comes in. It's a dangerous cycle where success fuels overconfidence, making us more likely to act impulsively. So the key takeaway here is that true power lies in restraint and maintaining perspective, even when the momentum is on our side. Now here we see how the thrill of flight, the exhilaration, the rush of newfound power, can sometimes cloud our judgment. Icarus's story is a perfect example of this. As he flew higher and higher, ignoring warnings, he was driven by that intoxicating feeling of freedom and mastery. But this desire to push beyond limits led him past the safety mark. The sun, which represents hubris and overconfidence, melted his wax wings, and he fell to his doom. This shows us that victory, if not tempered by caution, can be destructive. The Icarus metaphor underscores a universal lesson. Ambition must be balanced with humility. Throughout this presentation, we see this theme reflected in many areas, whether personal, professional, or even societal. It reminds us to respect our limits, even as we strive for greatness. Bismarck, recognizing the dangers of a harsh victory, made a strategic decision to stop the Prussian army from completely crushing Austria. He understood that destroying Austria would only create a permanent and bitter enemy, which could threaten the future stability of a unified Germany. Instead, he halted the military campaign, offered mild peace terms, and importantly, secured Austria as a future ally. This act of restraint was crucial because it laid a solid foundation for the eventual unification of Germany. After the decisive victory at the Battle of Königgrätz, the Prussian king and generals were eager to press forward, marching on Vienna to humiliate Austria further. But Bismarck's leadership showed that he prioritized strategic diplomacy over mere military conquest. His approach kept Germany united in purpose and avoided unnecessary conflict, which was essential for the overall success of his vision of a unified Germany. This moment highlights Bismarck's skill as a statesman, knowing when to fight and when to hold back, and how his decisions shaped the future of Germany. It reminds us that true leadership often involves restraint and wise diplomacy, not just military strength. She warned him, "Rule your own people and bear the sight of me ruling mine." But Cyrus, driven by hubris, ignored her warning. This overconfidence led to his downfall in battle. And tragically, he was killed during the fight. After his death, Queen Tomiris took a brutal revenge. She shoved his severed head into a wineskin of blood, saying, "I give you your fill of blood." This story highlights how even great empire builders like Cyrus can overreach. He built an enormous empire, but his ambition pushed him to attack the Massageti, a fierce tribe led by Queen Tomyris. This act of overstepping illustrates a key transgression. Knowing when to stop is crucial. It reminds us that hubris often leads to downfall, no matter how powerful we become. And in this case, it was the very ambition that contributed to his demise. When we fall into the trap of arrogance, we often stop planning carefully. We might assume that because things went well last time, they will be just as easy next time. We stop listening to advice from others, thinking we already know everything we need to succeed. This mindset is dangerous because it blinds us to potential risks and new ideas. It's important to realize that when we do succeed, we tend to attribute that success solely to our own brilliance. We forget that luck, timing, and circumstances also play a big role. This false confidence makes us believe we're invincible and that we can do no wrong. But the danger is that this overconfidence can lead us to overlook warning signs and make costly mistakes. When we're blinded by success, we might think we're unstoppable, but in reality, it's a fragile illusion. Recognizing this trap is key to maintaining humility and staying vigilant in our journey toward growth and improvement. Now, let's talk about setting the mark. The key here is to consolidate your gains. After a successful move, it's important to take a moment and secure what you've already achieved. This pause allows you to lock in your current position before you reach for more. When you see that you've reached a point of progress, resist the temptation to push further right away. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, just one more conquest. Often, that little extra push can lead to overreach and setbacks. Before embarking on any new campaign or challenge, it's crucial to define what victory actually looks like. Knowing exactly what your end goal is helps you stay focused and disciplined. So the main takeaway here is to celebrate and solidify your wins, set the mark, and be clear about what success means. That way, you can move forward strategically, rather than just chasing after more without clear purpose. Let's talk about reversal, or what I like to call the crushing blow. Law 47 reminds us that our ambitions should be focused. When you target a specific enemy and achieve that victory, it's crucial not to let that success tempt you into attacking other enemies you're not prepared for. Knowing when to stop is key. Once your objective is achieved, that's the moment to pull back. Now, I want to emphasize that stopping here doesn't mean showing mercy. As Law 15 states, if an enemy is dangerous enough, you must crush them completely. The difference between stopping and mercy is important. Stopping is about being strategic and disciplined, not lenient. This ties into the overall theme of mastery, knowing when to strike and when to hold back. It's about control and precision. Always remember, a well-placed blow at the right time can be far more impactful than overextending and risking your position. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the sources behind the visuals we've seen today. The images come from a variety of reputable sites, starting with iStockPhoto.com, which provided the photo of the wooden figurine representing leadership. This image symbolizes the human element and the importance of guiding others. Next, we have a textured image of crushed stone from Vectizi.com, illustrating the foundational or rugged aspects often involved in our projects or challenges. Moving on, Pixtaystock.com contributed a striking photo that emphasizes the raw, tangible materials that can represent strength or obstacles. Swellendcut.com supplied an image of a pawn and a king from chess, which is particularly fitting as it highlights strategic decision-making and hierarchy, key concepts in leadership and planning. From Wikipedia, we see an iconic image of Queen Tomyris, a powerful historical figure, reminding us of leadership through strength and resilience. Lastly, a compelling photo from Reddit shows a modern interpretation of influence, power, and perhaps even the consequences of our choices. All these sources enrich our understanding by visually reinforcing the key themes we've discussed: leadership, strategy, resilience, and influence. It's essential to recognize that these visuals, much like the concepts we've explored, are interconnected, helping us better grasp how different elements come together in the broader context of our presentation. And finally, I want to give a quick shout out to the sources that helped us with this presentation. The image you see here comes from Wikipedia, which is a fantastic resource for free, reliable information and visuals. Specifically, this photograph was uploaded to Wikimedia Commons, and I've included the link on the slide for anyone interested in exploring further. It's important to acknowledge where our visuals come from, as they add context and authenticity to our message. Remember, using credible sources not only enriches our understanding, but also respects the work of creators and contributors. Thank you for your attention throughout this presentation. If you have any questions or want to dive deeper into any of these topics, feel free to reach out.